Hi kids, my name is Annie Barrows, and I am currently in my office where I write all of my books. Here are my books. Here are some more of my books. Here's my latest book. I write a lot of books in here, and my office has a lot of other things in it too. I mean, as you can see, it's got some pictures in it. It's got some trash over in the corner. It's got some toys. Here's a little toy I like to play with when I can't figure out what to write. And it's got pens and paper and a computer, and that's pretty much all you need to write a book. You need paper and pens, or maybe a computer if you feel like it, and you need people to leave you alone, and that's really all it takes to write a book. When I was a kid, I liked to read. I liked to read a lot more than I liked to write because I had a problem. I would read a book. Let's say I read Harriet the Spy. I loved it, a fantastic book, and I would think to myself, I am going to write me a book just like this book. And then I would sit down and I would try to write a book exactly like Harriet the Spy, exactly like whatever book I had read and loved. And then I would read what I had written, and I would think, this isn't very good. And I thought that meant I was a bad writer. Really what that meant is you shouldn't copy other people's books. You should write your own books, but I didn't know that. I also thought that to be a writer, you sort of needed to be magic, and I knew I wasn't magic, so I thought the whole writing thing was something I couldn't do. I thought that for years and years and years until I was about 32, and then I started writing books, and I wish I had started earlier because then I would have written a lot more books than I've written. And I guess the most important thing I've learned about writing is that you don't have to feel great to write. You don't have to love what you're writing. You just have to keep on, and you have to do it every day. Because if you don't do it every day, if you sit around and wait for the day when you really feel like writing, you're not going to get very much written. Another thing that I have learned about writing is I stop writing only when I know what I'm going to write next. That way I'm excited when I start again, because I know what I'm going to do. I know the sentence I'm going to write. I know the paragraph I'm going to write sometimes even. Sometimes I even know the chapter I'm going to write, and that makes me want to write, which is really a good feeling. But even if I don't want to write, I just sit there and do it. I don't wait to feel inspired, because I could be waiting for years to feel inspired, and I've got stories to tell. And so do you. Okie dokie, kids. So here's the deal. You got to get out there and write. That's what you got to do. And I'm going to leave you with a quote, one of my favorite quotes about writing by a really great writer named Flannery O'Connor. And she said, anybody who has survived his childhood has enough information about life to last him the rest of his days. So what she means by that is you've already got the story. Just by living, you've got stories. So your job is to tell them. Have a good time writing.